I see someone's awake again. Is everything alright? Your thoughts are going so fast it's hard to keep up. Well, what about this? How about we continue the story we started last time? See if we can find the ending? Great. Just sit back and I'll read it for you like last time. No, don't worry. If you fall asleep, I'll carry you to bed. There's no need to sleep on an uncomfortable sofa. Are you ready? So, last time we ended off. I'll read you the last few lines of it, and then I'll continue with the next chapter. A few moments of complete silence followed after the king had talked. The guards and son were all tense, looking at the stranger. The stranger, still holding a hand stretched out, pointing at the king. The silence was broken by the daughter, who put down her glass ever so gently, and with a gentle voice invited the stranger to sit with them and have dinner. That's where we ended off on. Chapter 2. The Truth. The daughter's words echoed throughout the large hall. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation. The very air felt electric almost, but no one said anything. The daughter had locked eyes with the stranger, or rather, she was looking directly where you would think his eyes were. In truth, she was not sure he was looking at her at all. No, it seemed he was looking right through her, as if she was not even there. "I will not join such a swine at his table," answered the stranger. This was all he said before he snapped his decrepit fingers, vanishing into nothingness. The silence the stranger left was unbearable. It felt like a heavy smog choking everything in the large castle. It was only broken by the entrance of the one and only butler. The butler stepped into the large hall. He looked around, seeing how the king, the guards, and the prince were all standing very tense. The princess, while holding a calm face, was visibly shaking, as if she just had a blade to her throat. "I know the dessert was a little late, but no reason to be up in arms over it," the butler said, in his usual joking tone. The sound of the butler's voice seemed to release everyone from the hypnotic state of mind that they were in. They were all staring around in confusion. "My boy, why have you drawn your sword? And why, pray tell, are the guards all pointing their weapons at nothing?" the butler asked with a curious tone while he was serving the dessert. Nothing was said, leaving the butler in a state of confusion. He attempted to gain some knowledge through reading the king's facial expression. However, all he could read from it was distress and pure unadulterated fear. He did not know what had transpired in the few minutes he had been in the kitchen. But he, as well as anyone who was in the room, could feel the dark waves that were still lingering upon the walls, the carpet, and even in the very air. He could feel that something had been in the room that was neither from this world, but at the same time was never meant to be part of anything. "My king, may I ask, did you have a visitor while I was in the kitchen?" the butler asked while putting the plate with a decadent piece of cake in front of the king. The king, who just snapped out of whatever power was still resting upon him, looked at the butler with a strange, confused look. I'm not sure. My head feels fuzzy. I feel like something was here, the king said while looking down at the table. I'm sorry. Where are my kids? The king said with a desperate voice. My lord, they are The butler dropped the last plate as he looked back at the now empty table. But she was sitting right there, the butler said as he pointed at the now empty seat. His finger trembled. There was no one. No one at all in the huge hall of cold stone. The king blinked in disbelief as he stood up, unsure what to believe. What's going on? What's happening? The king looked around in confusion. He was sure his kids, the guards, they were all here a moment ago. The butler, trying to calm himself, tried to think of how he just walked in and saw all of the guards, the princess and the prince. But now they're gone. What's going on, my lord? Answer me truthfully. Did you have a visitor? Did he come by? The king, a little stunned by the butler's knowledge of whoever had been there, just said calmly, Yes, the stranger paid us a visit. I see you've already drifted off to sleep. Very well. We're not completely done with chapter 2, but we'll end off here for now. Sleep well.